A single look from Amy in the new Heartland Season 20 trailer has sent shockwaves through the fan world. It is not a look of happiness, and it is not a look of fear. It is something deeper, something hidden, as if someone from her past or future has just stepped back into her life. And the biggest question now is not what will happen next. It is, who is he? The Heartland Season 20 trailer does not give us clear answers, but it gives us something far more powerful: emotional clues. Amy is seen standing still, her eyes fixed on someone we cannot fully see. Her expression is not casual. It is the kind of look you give when your heart recognizes something before your mind is ready to accept it. In that quiet moment, the entire tone of the season is set. Something new has arrived, and it is already changing her world. For years, Amy's life has been shaped by love, loss, and responsibility. After everything she went through with Ty, she learned how to survive without him, how to raise Lindy, and how to carry grief without letting it destroy her. But survival is not the same as healing. The trailer suggests that Amy may finally be facing something she has been avoiding: the possibility of letting someone else matter again. That is where this mysterious man enters the story. He is not introduced with words, he is introduced with silence. That silence is important because it means he is not just another character. He is a presence. The way Amy looks at him tells us that this is not a stranger who will pass through Heartland and disappear. This is someone who will stay long enough to touch something deep inside her. And that makes him dangerous in the most emotional way. What makes this mystery even more intense is how carefully the trailer avoids revealing who he is. We see parts of him, small hints, but never the full picture. This is done on purpose. The show wants us to feel exactly what Amy feels: uncertainty mixed with curiosity, hope mixed with fear. When you have lost someone the way Amy lost Ty, the idea of opening your heart again is both beautiful and terrifying. This new man represents that emotional risk. There is also something familiar about him, even though we do not know his story yet. His presence feels connected to Amy's past, as if he understands her pain without needing it explained. That kind of connection does not happen by accident. It suggests history, or at least emotional awareness. Whether he comes from Amy's old life or is part of a new chapter, one thing is clear: he is not here by coincidence. The mystery around him is not just about his name or his job. It is about what he represents in Amy's journey. Heartland has always been about growth through struggle. Every time Amy's life changed, it was because someone entered her world and forced her to face something inside herself. Ty did that once. Now someone else may be about to do it again, but in a very different way. Season 20 is not asking us to forget Ty. It is asking us to see what comes after grief. This new man stands at the center of that question. Is he a reminder of what Amy lost, or is he a doorway to something she has not yet allowed herself to imagine? The trailer does not answer this, but it plants the seed of doubt, and that doubt is powerful. Because when a heart that has been broken begins to feel again, it never happens quietly. It happens with confusion, resistance, and moments of vulnerability that are impossible to hide. And Amy's eyes in that trailer tell us that her heart is already reacting, even if she does not want it to. This is why the mystery matters so much. It is not about romance alone. It is about whether Amy is ready to step into a future that does not look like the past she loved, and the man we barely see may be the one who forces her to finally choose. The question, who is he, is really another question in disguise. It is asking, who will Amy become now? The most powerful thing about the man in the Season 20 trailer is not what he says. It is what he does not say. There is a strange calm around him, a quiet that feels heavy, like something important is waiting to be spoken. This kind of silence only appears when two people are standing at the edge of something that could change their lives forever. Amy is no longer the same woman she once was. Loss reshaped her. Time strengthened her. And yet, the part of her that loves deeply never disappeared. The trailer shows her caught between holding on and letting go. Her posture, her eyes, her stillness, all of it suggests she is fighting an invisible battle inside. One side of her wants to protect the peaceful life she has built for Lindy. The other side is curious about what this man might bring into their world. This man does not step into Heartland like someone looking to impress. He moves like someone who already understands what this place means. That alone makes him different. Heartland is not just land and horses, it is memory, pain, and healing. Anyone who walks into that space without respect is quickly pushed away. But this man seems to belong there, even though we do not yet know why. There is also something careful about the way he watches Amy. Not hungry, not impatient, just aware. It feels as if he sees not only who she is now, but who she used to be. That kind of awareness can be comforting, but it can also be unsettling. Because when someone sees you clearly, they also see the wounds you hide. Amy has spent so long being strong for everyone else. For Lindy, for her family, for the ranch, but strength is heavy when you carry it alone. The presence of this man creates a new emotional space, a place where Amy might not have to be the only one holding everything together. Yet, there is fear in that possibility. When you allow someone close, you also allow them the power to hurt you. Amy knows this better than anyone, so every step she takes toward him is careful, slow, and full of unspoken questions. The trailer gives us small hints of tension, not from danger, but from emotional uncertainty. This is not a story about a sudden romance. It is a story about trust. Can Amy trust someone again? Can she trust herself to want more than what she already has? This man feels like a mirror. He reflects something back to Amy that she has not seen in a long time. The version of herself that still believes in connection, in companionship, in shared strength. That reflection is both beautiful and frightening. What makes this season feel different is that the mystery is not about action or secrets. It is about the heart. It is about what happens when two lives quietly move closer together without knowing where that closeness will lead. Amy is not running toward this man. She is being drawn toward him slowly, like gravity. And that kind of pull is impossible to ignore forever. Season 20 is setting up something delicate. Not a storm, but a shift. A moment where everything feels calm on the surface, while underneath, emotions are changing direction. And the man at the center of that change does not need to speak loudly to be powerful. His quiet presence is already rewriting the emotional rhythm of Amy's world. Whatever his story is, it is tied to hers now. And once two stories touch, they can never fully separate again. There is a quiet tension building around Amy that feels different from anything before. It is not loud, and it is not dramatic, but it is constant. It feels like the air before a storm, when everything is still, yet something powerful is about to move. That feeling surrounds her now, especially when she is near this new man. It is as if the future is standing right in front of her, waiting for her to decide whether she is brave enough to step into it. What makes this situation so complicated is that Amy is no longer driven by desire alone. She is driven by responsibility. Lindy is the center of her world. Every choice Amy makes must pass through one important question. Will this protect my child, or will it put her at risk? The new man does not just enter Amy's life, he enters Lindy's life too. And that makes everything more serious. There is something deeply emotional about watching Amy consider this. Her heart may be curious, but her instincts are cautious. She is not looking for excitement. She is looking for safety, for honesty, and for someone who will not disappear when life becomes difficult. That is what makes this man so interesting. He does not feel temporary. He feels steady, like someone who is not afraid of staying. At the same time, his presence stirs memories Amy has never truly let go of. Love does not vanish when someone dies. It changes form, but it stays. And now Amy stands in a place where her past and her possible future seem to exist at the same time. That emotional conflict is at the heart of Season 20. This is not about replacing anyone. It is about allowing something new to grow without erasing what came before. That is one of the hardest things a person can do. Amy must learn how to hold two truths in her heart, that she loved deeply and that she may be able to love again. The man in this story becomes a symbol of that struggle. He is not there to compete with memory. He is there to create something real in the present. And that difference matters. There is also a sense that this connection will not be easy. Easy love does not create powerful stories. What we are being shown feels more like a slow, careful, emotional journey. Two people moving forward step by step, not knowing where they will end up, but choosing to walk anyway. That choice is what defines courage. Not knowing the outcome, but moving forward despite the fear. Season 20 is shaping itself around that idea. The idea that healing does not happen when the pain is gone, but when you are willing to live with it and still open your heart. Amy is standing at that moment now, and the man beside her is not pushing her. He is simply there, offering presence instead of promises. Sometimes that is the most powerful thing of all. This season is not about answers. It is about emotional discovery. And the closer Amy moves toward this new future, the more we will see who she truly is beneath all the strength she has built. The mystery is not just who he is, it is who Amy will become, because he is here. Something deeply unsettling is happening beneath the quiet surface of Heartland. It is not visible in words or actions, but it can be felt in the way Amy carries herself, in the way her eyes seem to search for something she cannot name. This season is not about sudden change. It is about slow realization. And realization is often the most painful kind of transformation. The new presence in Amy's life does not simply walk beside her. It awakens parts of her that have been asleep for too long. These are not joyful awakenings at first. They are heavy. They are full of memory. When you open your heart again after loss, you do not just invite new feelings in. You also reopen old wounds. That is the emotional battlefield Amy is standing in now. What makes this even more complicated is that Amy does not fully understand what she is feeling. It is not love. It is not friendship. It is something in between, something undefined. And undefined emotions are the hardest to face because they do not give you clear rules. You do not know what is allowed. You do not know what is safe. You only know that something inside you is shifting. The man in her life does not force clarity. He allows the confusion to exist. That alone changes the energy between them. He is not asking her to be ready. He is simply there, steady and patient. And sometimes patience is more powerful than passion. There is a quiet respect in the way he interacts with her. Not the kind of respect that keeps distance, but the kind that acknowledges her history without needing to speak it aloud. He understands that Amy is not a blank page. She is a story that has already been written, and he is stepping into a chapter that still carries echoes of everything that came before. Those echoes are not gentle. They carry grief, memory, and the weight of love that never had the chance to finish its journey. Amy feels that weight every time she allows herself to feel something new. It is as if her heart is asking permission from the past before it moves forward. Season 20 dares to explore that emotional truth. It does not rush Amy into a new identity. It lets her remain suspended between what was and what might be. That space between is where the deepest drama lives. There is also a growing awareness that this connection is not just about Amy. It is about the entire emotional balance of Heartland. When someone new enters a family shaped by history, everything shifts. Even the people who are not directly involved can feel it. Change has a way of rippling outward, touching lives in ways no one expects. The man does not try to take Ty's place. That is not his role. His role is more complicated. He stands in a place where memory and possibility overlap, and that makes him both comforting and unsettling at the same time. Amy senses this, even if she cannot explain it. There are moments when she seems pulled toward him, and moments when she steps back, as if afraid of crossing an invisible line. That line is not drawn by the man, it is drawn by her own heart. This is why Season 20 feels heavier, deeper, and more emotionally rich than before. It is not telling a simple story about moving on. It is telling a story about what it means to carry love forward without betraying it. Amy is not trying to forget. She is trying to grow. And growth always comes with pain. The mystery man becomes part of that growth, not because he changes her, but because he allows her to change herself. His presence creates a space where Amy can exist without having to be perfect, without having to have all the answers. And that space is where something powerful begins. As the season unfolds, this emotional tension will only deepen. Not through dramatic twists, but through quiet moments that reveal how fragile and strong the human heart can be at the same time. Amy is no longer standing still. She is moving, even if she does not yet know where she is going. And the man walking beside her is now part of that unknown future. That is what makes this story so gripping. not the mystery of who he is, but the uncertainty of what they might become together. The quiet of Heartland is never as simple as it appears. Beneath the calm fields, the familiar barns, and the rhythmic flow of horses across open plains, emotions ripple with a force that cannot be contained. Season 20 begins not with chaos or loud drama, but with an invisible tension. A question that hovers over Amy every moment she is awake. What will she do with the life that has been given to her, and how will she face the unknown person who has just entered her world? Amy has learned to be cautious. Over the years, she has built a life of careful routines, protective habits, and emotional walls strong enough to withstand heartbreak. But life, as it always does, has a way of testing even the strongest walls. The man from the trailer is not just a visitor to Heartland. He is an emotional earthquake. His arrival does not shatter everything at once, but it slowly shifts the ground beneath her, creating tremors that she feels in the quietest moments. While feeding the horses, while walking Lindy to school, while sitting alone on the porch at sunset. There is no rush in their interactions. There is no drama in dialogue. Everything is silent, subtle, and devastatingly effective in stirring Amy's heart. What makes his presence so compelling is that he does not demand attention. He does not intrude or make grand gestures. He simply exists, aware of the history that surrounds him, aware of the weight Amy carries, and aware that she is someone who measures every interaction against the backdrop of grief, responsibility, and memory. This creates an invisible tension that is almost unbearable to watch. It is the tension of what might happen if she allows herself to truly feel again. If she allows herself to trust the heart that has been cautious for years. Season 20 takes its time exploring this tension. Unlike previous seasons, where change often came with external events, storms, accidents, sudden visitors, this season's conflict is internal. The narrative unfolds in Amy's mind as much as in the world around her. Every glance, every hesitant step toward or away from the man, every long pause between conversations carries meaning. These are not moments of indecision because she is weak. They are moments of decision because she has lived enough to understand the stakes. Every choice matters now because it affects not only her, but Lindy, the ranch, and the fragile emotional ecosystem of the Heartland family. There is a unique vulnerability in Amy's reactions. She does not react with explosive emotion or theatrical gestures. Instead, her vulnerability is subtle. A tightening in her chest, a momentary falter in her voice, a hesitation in her hands. These small, almost imperceptible signals reveal the depth of her internal struggle more than any words could. The man, equally perceptive, notices these moments, and his silence in response amplifies the tension. He does not push. He does not probe. He simply allows Amy the space to confront her emotions, knowing that the more she resists, the more powerful her eventual acknowledgement will be. This section of the story explores the nuanced power of emotional suspense. The audience is placed in Amy's mind, feeling the invisible weight of choice. They understand that every interaction with this man carries the potential for both healing and hurt. Nothing is guaranteed. The man may offer understanding, but he cannot rewrite history. He cannot remove the pain of what Amy has lost. He can only exist as a mirror, reflecting her fears, her desires, and the possibilities she has long suppressed. And that reflection is both terrifying and intoxicating. Season 20 does not shy away from showing the consequences of emotional risk. Amy is challenged not by external villains, but by the complexity of the human heart. The narrative continually emphasizes that moving forward does not mean forgetting. The man is never depicted as a replacement for Ty or the past. Instead, he represents possibility, a living proof that life can expand in unexpected ways, even after profound loss. His role in the story is not about rewriting Amy's past, but about inviting her to confront the feelings she has kept buried, the longing for connection, the fear of vulnerability, and the hope for something meaningful beyond grief. One of the most compelling aspects of Season 20 is how it handles timing. The man does not arrive at a convenient moment. He enters when Amy's emotional defenses are tested, when her life is already layered with responsibility and unspoken grief. This timing ensures that every moment of interaction carries weight. A glance becomes an intimate confession. A shared silence becomes a declaration. And the audience, watching from the outside, feels the tension as if it were their own heartbeat accelerating in anticipation.
Lindy notices things before her mother does. A pause in Amy's voice, a distant look in her eyes, a subtle shift in her energy. Children are sensitive to change, and Lindy's quiet observations create a parallel tension, showing how new relationships ripple through an entire family. While Amy navigates her own emotions, Lindy watches, curious yet cautious, mirroring the suspense that the audience feels. Amy is drawn to this man not because he is perfect, but because he is authentic. Calm, unhurried, and emotionally aware, he contrasts sharply with the chaos and grief Amy has carried. His presence forces her to confront what she believes about love, trust, and connection, making self-reflection unavoidable and deeply suspenseful. He acts as a catalyst rather than a traditional character, creating emotional ripples across Amy's life. Every glance, every pause, every word left unsaid builds tension. Memories of Ty and past struggles surface subtly, coloring her responses and deepening her internal conflict. The suspense of season 20 lives in these quiet moments, reflections, stolen glances, and unspoken emotions. It is not drama that drives the story, but the careful unraveling of walls around Amy's heart, leaving the audience on edge with every small step toward possibility.